welcome to my channel, or welcome back, loyal viewers. I'm Kerry, the nosy housefrau. I've been away for a few days, so did I miss anything? So unless you've been in a drama cave, you know that Jaclyn Hill's lipstick launch is kind of a failure to launch. Oh, it's a cluster fun, you could say. In fact, when you Google Jaclyn Hill lipstick, the first thing I found was these images of the disaster that has become this lipstick launch. Now, according to her tweets, she said that this is a rarity, and at one point said it was due to the cotton gloves. The problem is there have been so many reports, and a lot from very reliable sources like Raw Beauty Kristi, who did a video wanting to say that it was just people coming for Jaclyn, just as pile-on, but in fact she couldn't recommend it either, and she put it under a microscope. I'll spare you the imagery. So these lipsticks are in horrible condition. Now, I had tweeted when they first came out, I did not know this was foreshadowing at all. I just said I wouldn't buy that many lipsticks at one time because they expire. They do expire. Had no idea. But then, before everything hit the fan, Nick Snyder, possibly other few people, but I remember seeing his video saying he thought she was selling expired makeup. And people came for him, and I have a feeling when it was proven to be true, he probably heard crickets instead of an apology, because that's what tends to happen. Here's the thing. There is a problem, obviously, in the lab. We don't know what exactly, but there is a problem, and it doesn't seem to be a rarity. It seems to be the rule, and even if it weren't, and you couldn't visibly see stuff, with all of those lipsticks having holes and mystery things on them and fibers, you just wouldn't want to take your chance on anything. So the problem is, not only has this lipstick come out as spoilage for some reason, Jaclyn's handling that badly too. I hope she's insured, and she may actually sue the company. This is what happens when you put your name on a product. You have to be very careful. And she had pictures of herself out there looking like a chemist, like she's working so hard on these lipsticks. That's what all of these beauty influencers do. They tell you that they're working so hard. Night and day, they're working so hard. Like we think they're in the lab with the test tubes and making the makeup. Come on, you put your name on it. You're not a chemist, okay? You're a face, and that's okay. But it is what it is. And now you have said you are responsible for this product. I think she's probably not as hands-on as Jeffree Star. I can't help but compare. His lipsticks just launched and people are loving them. He checks his stuff. That's the part that really galls me, is how did she not catch this? How did she not, when it's so prevalent that these are a problem, where was she during the process of these things? She said it's a US-based company. I'm assuming it's in California, so why didn't she catch this? Maybe I'm not perceiving what a grand scale this is, and maybe I'm wrong, and every single one she checked was fine. But at this point, we're talking droves of people are having problems. In fact, I haven't seen a video yet. Can you please point me towards one where somebody said all of their lipsticks were perfect and beautiful? There's 20 lipsticks for $300, and I have not seen one person say they had a great product. Maybe there were some, but there certainly are an exorbitant number of unhappy people. So my recommendation is, sooner than later, you have to address this and fix this. This is a total recall because there is a chance of mold. As an aside, I thought this tweet from Jaclyn was particularly humorous because it wasn't that long ago. She was talking about mold on fruit and how you put a moldy fruit next to another fruit and then that fruit gets moldy. It was like a really deep metaphor, and I was like, is that true for lipstick? Just wondering. So they need to find out if that's the case and offer a refund. The other problem is, today there was a tweet from someone saying that they were offered a newer one when it comes out. When they restock, they'll get a whole new lipstick case. And they're like, I want my money back. So she had said that people were going to be offered refunds, but this person was specifically told they could get another one sent out to them. They're like, I don't trust your company. And at this point, why should they? I mean, they have no reason to say, oh, you sent this to me, but your next product is going to be great. Are they going to work out all those kinks? How? And why isn't she addressing this? Jaclyn, you need to address this yesterday. You can't just say, this is not good, I need to, people will get refunds, etc. Now you've got mold. And this is on a very large scale. What she does now is going to probably determine the future of her company. At this point, she's going down the cookie road. She's going to be defunct. She has to accept recalls. There's pregnant women who don't want to put that stuff on their lips, and I'm glad they didn't, because we don't know what's in it. We don't know. I mean, I saw images that did look, these things look embedded, by the way. If you're thinking that people are doing this, there's always that possibility. I had to entertain that, but I saw somebody pull out a hair. There's no way, without ruining that lipstick, they could have just shoved that hair down in there. You'd have seen a hole at the top. You'd have seen something. These things look legit to me, legit contaminated, and they all have similar fibers, and they're coming out of the packaging that way. At one point, Jaclyn said it was the gloves, but you don't have to touch makeup. You don't touch lipstick when you manufacture it. So that's a really weird setup. This is all very new, isn't it? This whole like smaller influencers signing up with these companies that manufacture things in bulk for them, and their name is on it. We haven't really had this before. Before, you had company names with no faces. You had your bigger companies, Maybelline, L'Oreal, whatever, but it was like if you had an issue, you could go to that company. But I think a smaller company may have a cheaper product, cheaper lab, and perhaps not as good quality control. I don't know how quality control could miss this, because anything being manufactured has to have a QC person there, at least one or more people checking the quality of things. And this is true even in plastics. So why wouldn't this be true in lipsticks? It's really discouraging. I feel for the people who shelled out $300 and are like, I can't even use this stuff. It's disgusting. And you could see holes in them without it being under a microscope. So the question remains, what is Jaclyn going to do? She needs to do something soon, sooner than later, because if she does not handle this properly, there will be no consumer trust in her product. There will be no one who says, I can go, why would I get your stuff when I can go to another company like Gerard Cosmetics and get something that I know is quality for less money, and it's going to last me longer, and I don't have to be afraid to put it on my lips because it's not expired. We're going to go to the companies we trust. You have to have customer loyalty. You have to have brand loyalty, and you're not going to build that if you don't build trust. And the one thing she could do right now is proper damage control. Okay, let's say she can't control what went out on the line, and maybe there's got to be behind the scenes fighting. So now she has the option to become public and win people's trust by saying, this is what went wrong. She has to face this head on. This is an absolute disaster. I apologize. I'm going to be hands-on and make sure that this quality control issue never happens again. I'm going to find out why this happened, what it is in these lipsticks. Everyone's getting a refund. Listen, cut your losses. I hope you've got to be insured if you're incorporated, so you should have some insurance to cover this. Start over. Show people what went wrong. So look, this was the air quality. This is the problem with this. We're going to another source. We're going to another lab. This is how I'm going to make sure this doesn't happen again. I wouldn't give you something I wouldn't put on my lips, and so I'm devastated by this. She could come clean and offer a full recall on that product, and she may now have no choice if the FDA gets involved, because now there's a petition. That tells you she let this go on too long without getting involved, without doing proper damage control. People are petitioning to get this, all of these items recalled, to get refunds, and this petition is being sent to the FDA. So it's hard to know what's going to happen, but you can't just sell the public goods this bad and then try to sweep it under the rug. And I wholeheartedly believe that this is why a lot of people weren't getting their PR packages until the launch. Somehow it went up the line and got to her that that wasn't a great idea. And if you really trust your product, if you're really walking like you're talking, you'll be happy to give those advanced PR packages to people, so because you know that they will be selling. It's almost like saying, I'm going to have a movie come out, but I'm not going to have any previews. You have to have previews. You have to have teasers. You want people to create a buzz. And it was I don't know whose idea this was, but it was a horrible idea, and now it's looking even worse, to not give your PR people makeup that they could review and show their viewers and get other people excited about because they would say how good it was. But apparently the PR is not good, and that just shows that they had no confidence in the product. 2:50 in the morning, and I'm still filming. I don't know, I've got insomnia or something. I can hear my husband snoring in the other room. I'm in the guest room, of course. And my cat is behind me like an espresso machine. Let's see if I can get her on camera. Willa, I only know you're there because I hear you. Oh, she's like, I was trying to sleep. Turn the lights out. Anyway, I've said before on this channel, I think, I have no Jaclyn Hill opinion. I've never felt a reason to dislike her at all. In fact, a lot of things I see about her, she seems like a lovely person to me. I haven't had a reason to hate her, but I do feel the frustration that a lot of people feel because, you know, I'm seeing somebody that has a big problem and they're not taking the right steps to fix this. She could tell, you know, everybody, listen, I tested quality. When I left the lab, I was confident that the quality was great. You know, I was so confident that I thought nothing could go wrong, and I didn't realize that I had to watch quality closer. And these got through. When we started making so many, it got away from me. There, lipsticks are coming down the line like Lucy and the chocolates, and I really I didn't do my job right, but I'm gonna make this right. I wish you would just do that. It's so frustrating because to not wait, and some people are getting refunds and some aren't. If you look on Twitter, there's just all kinds of varying reports, and this needs to be addressed directly on a global scale. It's just to do the proper damage control. I will say I have had fun with it. It's like I don't wish Jaclyn any ill will at all, but I'm gonna make funny. It's just what I do. So like I had tweets like, I think 3 Daily was putting like certain music to lipstick too, but I had the other day I had like the meanwhile at the Jaclyn Hill production line. It's all in good fun. I really do hope someday Jaclyn can laugh about this too. Probably not. It'll probably be a while, but hopefully it'll, you know, it's not so much pressure and so much of a pile on. She has to make it right. Even if you feel sorry for her, she really does have to make this right. And yeah, you're gonna have to take your lumps and the ribbing that's gonna go with this because it is kind of a source of entertainment. And oh, another little ghost flew by. Did you see that light? That might be the Jaclyn fans putting a curse on me. It's a specter. I am actually glad that I didn't get the lipstick because it's very expensive. You have to pay $300 for that lipstick, probably plus shipping. And then, because they're not professional enough to do the exorcism in the lab, you have to do the exorcism yourself.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
And everybody knows when you're performing an exorcism, whether on a friend or lipstick from Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics that happens to be possessed, you have to have the old priest and the young priest. And I don't even know any priests. We are a long way from St. Mary's, so I'll probably just skip the lipstick.